A lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippecanoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, we're back and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And as I look into the chat, I see shout out there to Crazy Spider Adventures, Jerry, Nelson, Paul, and wow, it looks like we are very, very full up on mics and bills. We've got a number of mics and bills in there. And an Ed. Yeah, I see Ed too. Man, all sorts of them. All sorts of them. So, welcome aboard, obviously. We're back, we're live once again. We're here on Wednesdays, we're here on Sundays. Well, powers to be allowing, and we'll probably get into that on a later upcoming episode, but there will be at least one evening coming up next month that we have no choice but to do an archive that night. But we'll try, we'll see what we can do, and we'll let everybody know as we get closer to that, I guess. Also, links in the description. Our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors, Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, the dealer of choice. And let me tell you people, if you're looking for simplexes, you may want to get them quickly. Obviously, as we've talked before, stock is starting to kind of run out due to the situation that we're in. I know Equinoxes are still fairly accessible. Simplexes, I think we're starting to run out to the end of them for a little bit. Probably not long. And, well, obviously, people looking for gold monsters, that's like hitting the lottery. Definitely. They're not out there to be had. Definitely not out there to be had. But anyway, shooters and prospectors, first and foremost, our friends over there, Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, the dealer of choice, our friends at Extreme Scoops, DETECTEES.com, Ken, Mark, Darth, Buddy, and the gang, doing a great job with the Beyond Sight and Sound apparel. Obviously, if you have any of the apparel, make sure and check out the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group for the continuing recurring appreciation giveaway over there. You may want to get yourself entered. Who knows? We do draw randomly. Sometimes it's, every month or so. Sometimes it's every couple months. Who knows? The dates of drawing change. The prices change. You just never know what's going to go on with it. But once you're entered, you're always there. So, let's see. The links for our friends at TheRingFinders, XP Team USA, Metal Detecting NYC. Shout out to Merrill. Definitely. Detect Ed Outdoors. Welcome to Jesse. Ohio Metal Detecting. Crazy Spider Adventures. Number of YouTube channels in those links. And these links, not only are they in the description, they're in the show chat, and they do propagate with the episode after we're done. The Simplex raffle. The link is still up there. I believe the cutoff date is tomorrow. So, don't quote me on that. Just to be on the safe side, if you're looking for tickets, I'd make sure and get them done tonight. $5 a piece. You can't beat the deal for a brand new Simplex. And that not only gets you into the Simplex drawing, but every ticket you purchase also gets you an entry into the kind of second chance drawing, appreciation drawing, call it what you'd like, that's being done by Mike from Metal Detecting Central Illinois. Check out their Facebook group as well as the Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters group. And while you're on there checking out the groups, I spend a lot of time promoting other groups rather than the groups that I'm directly involved with a lot of times. Maybe that's a bad choice on my part. Maybe not. But while you're on there, check out Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound, MindLab Equinox users, Garrett AT Max users, MindLab CTX 3030 users, and then obviously Detect America, Metal Detecting Central Illinois, Detecting the Heartland, Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters, Dirt Pirates, and Ohio Relic Hunters. Metal Detecting Unlimited. Man, there's All Metal Militia. There's a lot of great Facebook groups out there. A lot of great Facebook groups. Obviously, tonight, our links are identical to the links that we carried for Sunday's show. Why? Well, it's because the show is practically identical to Sunday's show. Sunday, we talked about the Simplex, the Nokta Makro Simplex, one of debatably the most talked about machines right now, and a very, very good machine. As a matter of fact, I'm so impressed with it that I've had to change my perspective, kind of, and rather than recommending people coming into the hobby to get themselves an AT Pro, I've switched and told them, said, you want the best bang for your buck, get yourself a Simplex. Plain and simple. Hands down, get yourself a Simplex. You will not be disappointed. You cannot beat that price point for a machine with those features. Not only is it great for somebody coming into the hobby, they don't want to have to shell out a lot of cash. Maybe somebody's using an older machine and would like to update or upgrade. Maybe you're an experienced hunter or you're brand loyal, whatever the case is, and you think a Simplex is below you. It still makes a great backup machine, loaner machine, or if you're trying to get permissions, you're knocking somebody's door, obviously not right now in the situation that we're in with coronavirus, but you're knocking on somebody's door, hey, I got an extra machine with me. Maybe you'd like to try to hunt your yard too. Maybe it opens the door to that permission that you're just dying to get onto. Very lightweight. Very lightweight. Great machine. Great machine. So obviously Sunday we were all excited. Nokta Makro had came out with their newest update, version 2.76. And we were talking about some of the features that the update had, as well as how easy, how simple it was to install the update. We walked people through it. I even offered they could give me a call if they were having problems. I'm sure Frank from over at Detect America wouldn't mind doing the same. It's not that difficult. And I had said Sunday that it was great because everything that the update said it would provide, it provided. You got more depth. You got clearer VDIs at depth. You got your mineralization bar. You got your extra hunt mode. You got your extra degree of sensitivity. There were a lot of great things in that update. And it was great to see that they all worked just like they were supposed to. No glitches. So Sunday I say, well, it's been a good update so far from what I've seen. I can't find any issues where something's not working the way it was supposed to. Looks like maybe Frank's in the house. DA checking in. Welcome aboard. Not only did it do everything that it was supposed to, but preliminary testing, obviously, because we're all kind of locked down, so I'm kind of segregated to my own yard if I can make it out. Preliminary testing showed that everything was going to work, and not only was it going to work, it was going to work flawlessly. And I said Sunday, it'll probably be a while before we see another update for the Simplex from Nokta Makro, because how do you make it better? That machine is a great machine for that price point. Very ruggedly built, too. And I had mentioned Sunday that you're going to get basically a few nights of Simplex because Monday, Detect America, Frank, Ronnie, Steve, they had Dleck on to talk about the update, the features that it provides, and how they're listening to their customer feedback. And they were seeing complaints that some customers had about different things, and that was one of the reasons why the update had came available. But they had seen some other things that customers were complaining about, such as the audio volume for the wired headphones, I believe, and the fact of the crosstalk with pinpointers, which I had recommended to people previously. Try your frequency shift, try reducing your sensitivity, or move the detector a little further away from you when you're cutting your plug, when you're retrieving your target. People have got to understand the simplex runs on 12 kilohertz, not counting the frequency off shift. If it's just, you did a factory reset or whatever, it's going to run at 12 kilohertz. With the frequency off shift, it's going to run somewhere around 12 kilohertz. The Garrett Carrot being a very, very popular pinpointer, possibly one of the most popular, runs at, there again, somewhere around 12 kilohertz. I want to say, I think maybe somewhere around 11.5 kilohertz to be a little more precise. So, when you get devices that run in the same frequency range, chances are good you could have some crosstalk. Or if you're running a PI pinpointer, chances are very good you're going to get some crosstalk. The machine is going to chatter. But this is not just, I don't quite get why some people are kind of beating Nokta Makro up over this, because this is nothing new. This went on for, basically since pinpointers have been around. This is not an issue that you only have with the simplex. This is an issue that you have with many different machines at times. Now, say Garrett with the Z-Link wireless system and the new Z-Link pinpointers, I believe, if I remember right, when you turn the pinpointer on, you can hear the pinpointer through your headphones, just like you can with the DETECTEES. So, you don't hear that chatter. Well, on Monday's show with Detect America, Delec happens to mention, hey, we saw a user make the comment of, wouldn't it be great if you guys could add a mute function to the detector? And the audio's just a little low. So, she announces Monday, we're working on an update. It'll be out very soon. Okay. Imagine, I'm sure I was not the only one that was a bit surprised that Tuesday morning she's putting out a video, hey, we have update version 2.77 available now on our website. So there's a number of us at Scramble. I believe Frank has updated his to 2.77. I went ahead and grabbed the cable again and headed out to the computer again and updated the simplex for the second time in just about as many days. It couldn't have been more than 3 days, probably. Maybe 4. But either way, just in a matter of days, we're hit with 2 simplex updates. So obviously now, if you're wondering if your simplex is currently up to date, when you boot it up, when you see that simplex logo come across as the splash screen, for lack of a better term, when it's loading, you will see in the bottom left-hand corner, if you are up to date, it will say version 2.77. So that's why we're kind of talking a little bit about the new update. I know Sunday was the new update, but guess what? There's a new one. And thought we'd discuss it a little bit. Obviously, once again, very, very easy to update. For those who have updated the simplex before, If you still have the update tool on your computer, all you have to do is download the new update, extract that folder again, and I didn't even bother installing the setups. I just went into the update tool, clicked on Simplex, clicked Find File, Select File, grabbed the new bin file, detect device, and told it to install. And if you've still got, maybe you're not real good with housekeeping on your desktop screen, it's easy. You just look, the files are clearly labeled. This one says 2.77 instead of 2.76. So we run the update. Obviously, Striker in the house. Welcome aboard. We've got his links in the description as well. And there's Barb. So we go ahead and we run the update and disconnect it from the computer. I'm kind of anxious to see, all right, a detector with a mute function. How does this work? Let's check this out. So I go ahead and I unhook it from the computer, boot the detector up, and obviously to access the mute feature, all you have to do is tap your pinpoint button, and you will see, almost like on your computer screen, a little speaker icon shows up with an X, signifying that your simplex is now muted. And there is zero chatter, zero sound, because your detector's muted. When I heard about it, originally I thought, well, okay, sure, a mute function could be handy. But is it really a necessity? How many of us are already used to this sort of thing? Or, okay, we have a detector with a mute function. Those of you that have been in the hobby long enough to remember the Sunray inline probes, really great probes, but a lot of people ran into the issue where they would flip the switch to use their probe, recover their target, put their probe back onto the detector, get up and start swinging the machine, and maybe take a few feet and realize that they had left their probe on, i.e. their coil was turned off. So they'd have to flip the switch and go back and cover the ground that they missed. Not saying that that was a big downside to the Sunray probes, because the Sunray probes were phenomenal. Actually, I've still got one around here, I think, somewhere for the E-Track. I guess I should probably think about selling that. Anyway, though, that was, I don't know, I don't want to say it was a downside for the Sunray probes, but it was a bit of a glitch, you could say, a con for some people. Some people were not happy with that aspect. So you got to wonder, okay, now we have a detector with a mute function. Are we going to have the similar or same scenario where a person recovers their target, goes ahead, picks up their machine, and starts swinging and goes a few feet and realizes, oh, wait a minute, I had my mute function on. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think so, because this is not complex. Once again, Nokta Makro has kept it simple. You tap your pinpoint button to access your mute function that activates the mute, and then after that, hit any other button on the machine, mute is disabled, and you're back to hunting. So I've tried it. It's not bad. Actually, I have to kind of digress a bit, because I thought that maybe it might be a little silly to put a mute function into the machine. Maybe. But after seeing it and trying it myself, I think, welcome aboard to Dennis, I think that's, and Bob, I think that's going to be quite possibly a very, very handy feature to have on the Simplex. And it's not complicated at all. I mean, you tap the button, boom, you're muted. Hit any other button, you're unmuted, you're back to hunting. So once again, we see another great update, more additions, features added to the Simplex. I really don't think at this point you can make it much better for that price point. What do you think, Chuck?
Well, no, you can't. How you doing, Josh?
All right.
Good. I tried calling in on the hard line, and systems evidently must be down, so I want the cell phone was able to get through.
Interesting. Well.
Unable to complete several times, so I don't know what's going
on. I'm not sure.
No, they keep working on that Simplex and keep adding to it and refining it, and it's a win-win on that. Now, I'm going to try to upgrade the one slot tomorrow. Get over there. I'm going to have to step outside in case I'm in the house. And see how that goes, because running a Mac, I can't do it.
Right, yes. And that was another thing that Deluck had mentioned Monday, is that Nokta Makro is going to try to do what they can in the future when offering updates to provide Mac support as well. So I'm sure that will make the Mac users happy.
Yes, it will. It actually, like on the CTX 3030, things like that, they didn't have, for a long time, upgradability on Mac. You had to use PC. Now they've come out and we have Mac.
And that really, honestly, kind of surprised me when MindLab released the Equinox and came out with an update for it. I was very surprised to see not only did they have Windows support like you would expect to, they also had Mac support.
Yep. So kudos to them all being able to use Mac also. Mac's popularity is pretty thick out there also. And,
yes, it is.
You don't get near the problems that you do on PC.
Right. Absolutely, you are correct. So it's a shame that they don't offer much Mac support with these updates, but it sounds like Nokta Makro is going to do what they can to provide that Mac support, or the support for the Mac OS users out there.
Right. And, the Simplex literally is taken off on fire. And, they thought they had plenty here, and they don't. Distributors are out, and what's on the shelves is going rather quickly. I beefed up a little bit, and I've got 1-2 orders today, but we're still good on it. And they're finding out that this machine actually, at the price point, seems low end, but at the point of operation, they're finding out that it's a heck of a machine.
Right. The only thing entry level about the machine is the price.
Yes. And it kind of set a bar differently for people. And now it's going to be super interesting to see this new Garrett Apex. I'm really, really curious to see how this is going to unfold and what it has. And May 15th is the date release, but I don't expect to see a lot of them shelved up for a while. And
I don't either.
Talk to Simplex and the Mind Labs that they've run out of. It's going to be a while before you see them. I mean, with plant shutdowns and shipping shutdowns everything else. So if you're looking to upgrade a model or get a different model that's available now, I suggest you do it because it's going to be quite a while. Simplex, they've started running again according to Delect, but a lot of things aren't coming in or out of countries.
Right. And Stryker puts in the chat that the Simplex price is like a VW price compared to race car performance.
Yep. They can turn it into a hot dune buggy right away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that's, like you and I have said for quite some time, that technological race that we see, in the end, we all win.
Yep.
And what the Simplex is doing is driving competition. They're setting the bar for the other manufacturers.
And even in the world of other things that we have out there, the bar's going up and up and up for moderate or no great price increases. Nokta's pinpointer, the pulse dive. And now they've added, you can buy an extra coil for it, go to a larger coil, great unit. And it's a pulse unit. So if you're using that with the standard machines out there, it will talk to them if you're not careful. And I'll use Frank at Detect America there, and his ugly boxes. He just upped the bar on that, and you've got the rheostat on it, and you've got all these other things going on. And he's trying to get them out. I'm still waiting on some. He's trying to get things back in service and running again, and they're all having problems getting parts in.
Right. That's just the nature of the beast for the situation that we're in.
Yep. So just wait on those. I'll have more in. I know I will, and things are going and very well in our favor. And it's interesting to see what's coming out from everybody, and you can't help but like it.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even if you're not in the market for a new machine or a new pen pointer, or even if you're not in the market for an ugly box or anything, it's still fun to watch.
Yes, it is. We're winning.
Oh yeah, we're winning, and we're winning in spades.
That's right. And there's more stuff coming down the pike from my lab. Wait for it; it'll be out. And we have just all kinds of great things going on. So, and it gets better and better and better. And I see my customers succeeding more and more and more. And boy, I wished I had some of this stuff 40 years ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, even something as simple as a pen pointer 40 years ago would have been an extreme game changer. And to have the machines that we have now, if we would have had those 40 years ago, who knows what people would have been finding.
Oh, my God. And the race was on at that time.
It was.
To have discrimination that didn't give terrible loss in depth. And all the companies that were out there at that time, and I'm talking Garrett and White's, and there were some companies, Compass, AH Pro. Some of those were succeeding, and they didn't have the technology we have today to communicate to people. It was in magazines, it was in flyers, it was word of mouth, and the net that we have today is amazing because we can watch YouTube videos and see guys that have been doing it 3, 4, 5 years, even less, just cleaning up with the technology that they've been given. And their computer's on a stick. And those that grew up with that knowledge, working with those computers are really a step up in a sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All of these kids now, they're playing with their Xboxes and iPads and everything else, so if they come over to Detectors, they're already familiar with technology, so it dramatically lessens the learning curve.
Yep. So we're winning. We're having fun doing it. And you guys are all, if you get out and learn those machines and you have some good knowledge of them, you're gonna hit some real good stuff. It just take a machine and practice with it. Learn it. That's still a key. Learn your machine. Even back then, if you learned your machine and what it was telling you, you got a leg up on everybody. And you know, I got some good depth out of my old lights. I really did. I was getting 4 to 5 inch coins at that time, and cleaning up and even more. But you know, you needed damp soil. You needed, you know, that kind of stuff at the time in the spring after a
conditions had to be just right.
Yep. Conditionally, it made a big difference. I found things in some really dry soil now with the new machines that I don't think I would have dug 40 years ago because you didn't hear them.
Right, exactly. And now compare that to today. We're recovering targets at a foot deep, no problem if conditions are right.
I mean, a couple Indians I pulled up yesterday were 7+ inches standing up. They were on edge. I just barely got a tweak of a signal out of them, but I knew when I got them they were Indians and went after it, and there they were.
Right.
So,
and 40 years ago, you wouldn't have heard that Indian upright at 7 inches.
No. One of the best, and I'm serious on this, one of the best machines coin on edge is that Equinox that I've ever handled. Mine Lab's propensity for finding silver is legendary now since they've been out since their Explorer series come out. And it started getting better and better, and they started working on straightening some things out, and people understood them better. And, man, we're winning on that, too. So the Simplex has the capability, but I'll tell you what, those Mine Labs on that type of stuff are phenomenal.
Right. And I think, too, that you know, with the Equinox, we have the multi-IQ, the simultaneous multi-frequency technology, and that's where that technology kind of shines through with, like, say, the mineralized environment and things of that nature, where the single-frequency machines may not shine through quite as well. But still, that's not to say that the Simplex may necessarily be a lesser machine because of that.
Right. I'm not downgrading anybody here. It's just what I've learned with these machines and seen with them. It's just phenomenal. And yesterday it was the 800, just barely getting a signal, but it was giving me from 19 to 21, just a light blip, and I'm going, I'll bet that's an Indian. The first one was there, and just from it was a second. I got one that was pretty toasted up and in the fire, and I know it's an Indian. That's it. There's not going to be much helping. It was bubbled up, and so it had gotten hot. And then I also found a silver. I found a Merc that was early Merc. Can't read it. It's boiled. I mean, it just, that sight. There've been so many different things on it over the years. It was toast.
Right. But still, finds to be proud of.
Oh yeah. So it was a nice day out for a couple hours. That's all I had time for. And today it started out rain, and till just about noontime it was like 51 degrees and a cold rain. Cleared off and jumped in just a half an hour to 74.5, and I had too much going on to get out today. But tomorrow looks good.
Well, unfortunately, tomorrow we've got rain and wind and cold and all those other nasty things. Yeah.
That's what I do today. So we'll have a lot of fun. I hope tomorrow afternoon to get out for an hour and a half, couple hours. I got another spot I want to try, and that's produced, and I think it needs some more attention.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of anxiously awaiting being able to get out a little more because there's a few spots that, well, we'll say I've been pretty thorough with other machines. Doesn't mean I'm still not kicking things up from time to time. But I'd really be interested to see how the Simplex does in those areas.
I had a guy call me yesterday from up in Beloit, Wisconsin. He was telling me that he spent some big bucks. There's a brand over there in Europe called a Rufus, R-U-F-U-S. I've never handled one.
Actually, about them. Yeah, actually, I believe it's the Rutus. R-U-T-U-S. Yeah.
Whatever. And he was trying to ask questions about it, and I told him, I said, look, I've seen the ads in Researcch magazine. I don't know a thing about them. And there's a couple brands that are in Europe that we don't get here.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
said, I really can't help you.
Yeah, they're a fairly popular machine over in Europe. The popularity hasn't really hit here yet. I have heard of a few users in the States with them, but not very many.
Well, he bought it through I don't know if he got it through Regton or Joan Allen. He mentioned both dealers over there, and I'm familiar with both the dealerships over there. I've met folks from both of them when I've been there. They shipped it, but he said it took forever to get here, and he's been out with it. But you know, when you get your hands on something like that you've got not a lot of technical support locally. And I don't know why he chose me. He saw that I'd been on detective ball and hunted in England, but I've never had my hands on those. So there's other companies out there that are looking to grow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, especially with one like that, there's not a lot of technical support here stateside for it yet. So that kind of increases the learning curve for them. But, I mean, as long as you get out, you give it a good, fair shake, give the machine time, spend that time with the machine to understand what it's telling you. From what I've heard from some of the people in Germany that have used it, they're liking that machine.
Yep. And there was another one that was around for a while. I did handle it a little bit here in the U.S. called Bliss Tool. I don't know if they're still around or not.
I want to say, I believe I heard Amid sold off the company and went into something in the smart car industry.
Oh, well, I know Ronnie looked at it real close. Ronnie DeGhetto out of Gold Digger, and he had one. I don't know if he liked it much or not, but those were floating around too. So there's other companies trying to grow and get into the system, and some of them may bring something to the table that will be phenomenal also. So that's what we always got to look for, but you just don't know. And, but like I said, as our major companies that are still big players out there, are developing more and more, I'm anxious to see this Apex, and there's been a rumor for a while that Fisher's going to come out with this discriminating pulse unit, and it hasn't made it to the table yet.
Yeah, I've heard that rumor for some time, and it would be interesting to see them pull it off. I've also heard that the coils will be very, very pricey if they pull it off. But the thing that would really have my curiosity piqued is if they can actually pull off a pulse induction unit with a true working discrimination circuit. Because there are pulse induction units out there that claim to have discrimination, but they're still fine-tuning it. It doesn't really work. So you still have to ask yourself, how deep do I want to dig a nail?
That's right. Well, it's just like, well, I used the GPC 7000 from my lab. That is one phenomenal gold machine.
Yes, it is.
And it is so sensitive. And you've got to really learn it and understand it to figure out what you're doing with it. But literally, they demonstrated that it'll pick up a good 1 ounce nugget at near 4 feet.
Which is just insane.
I asked him
that's
if
crazy
a backhoe came with it. Yeah. I asked him if a backhoe came with it the first time I saw one.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
They are a phenomenal detector, and those using them have had some crazy success on gold.
Oh, yes, they have. And some of them, they have definitely paid for their machine. I believe I can recall shortly after the GPZ came out, somebody had found somewhere in the neighborhood of a 7 ounce nugget with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's been some large ones found deep. They've had to really hack and get down to them. And most of you, I don't know if many of you ever nugget hunt. I know you hunt your gold rings. That's a different story.
Right.
But you got to remember that's the densest that you're looking for, and take a 1 ounce piece of lead and cut it in half, because that gold nugget would be half the size at 1 ounce.
Exactly. And that is a long way to dig for a target that's only that size. I mean, I've dug halves of split shot sinkers at 10 inches with the Equinox. And I'm going, really? You carried on and made all that racket for this little bitty piece of lead.
Yep.
Oh.
Copper BBs.
Oh,
that
yeah.
drove me nuts a couple times.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
BB, 0.1, not quite 177 to up to 0.22 or 22 caliber stuff. When you're down 7-8 inches and you're sifting through, and the pinpointer just gives you a click going by it, that can be frustrating too. But it does dig up post earrings, and that's amazing.
That's what I was going to say. That's just as aggravating as the earrings that you find, that it's there, and you're moving the target around. You just can't narrow it down because they're such small items. It gets a little frustrating at times.
Yep. So we're winning. It's fun. Always something new coming down the pike, and it's just like the computer you buy today. In a week, it's almost outdated. So we'll see what comes next.
Yeah. Or you update your Simplex and then turn around and do it again 2 days later.
Yeah. It's something. So I can't complain. It keeps us hopping. So I've had a good time with it, and I like seeing them succeed. I had a customer in South Dakota. He had his Equinox like 3 days, and he got onto a nice site, and he was hitting some stuff. I was floored. He showed me a couple pictures, sent me a couple pictures on Messenger that I couldn't believe what he was getting at the depth just out of the box. I mean, he was just watching and learning, and put a couple programs in, and went out and hammered up, 3 golden rings in one afternoon, and one of them was nearly 9 inches down.
Wow.
So he is just tickled to death with that Knox, I'll tell you. And I've got a couple Simplex users that are doing just about the same thing. They did their research and talked to people and gave me a call and what we worked through, and they're succeeding huge. So,
yeah, and with the Simplex, not only is it good right out of the box, but there's room to tweak it.
Yep. And I watch guys comparing notes on them. It's great. So, and we've got one other company that's trying to step up, and I think they're trying to get back into the play, and White's is trying to get back into they make a phenomenal pinpointer. Lights makes a phenomenal pinpointer. Their little, was it TRX?
Yeah.
That's a great pinpointer, but they need to continue to step up with their R&D on their machines.
Yes, they do. They're going to have to push hard or they're going to get left behind.
Yeah. We've seen that with the Toro and some of the others, unfortunately, kind of lagging off. So hopefully they can keep the R&D going and we all win with somebody coming up with something else new and we have some fun doing it. So I'm going to back out and get back on the chat down there and see what everybody's talking about tonight. And if you need anything, I've got stuff coming in. I'll have more skins. I'm waiting on the order that I placed and because I'm having it all shipped at once. And so we'll get that in, and I've got promises made to people on the ugly boxes, and then we'll get them out to them. So,
right. And while we've got you on here, any updates or information on the Simplex raffle?
The raffle, I think, actually, the raffle point ends tomorrow, I think, and then we're going to draw in the first week of May. A couple of us are going to get together, and I'll try to do a go live, and I'm going to try and do it in a manner where maybe we can do it in an evening right before the show or a couple hours before one of your Wednesday shows.
Oh, nice.
I'll try that. See if I can get everybody to agree to a meeting place. We'll do it. We'll get it drawn for. I'll have Tim and I are not involved in the raffle, so one of us will do the draw, and we'll get that out. He's got it. It'll be shipped, and somebody feel pretty lucky to win that right now.
Oh, yeah, someone will, especially at the rate they're going. I mean, them things are just flying out the door. So someone may be very, very happy because stock may dry up for at least a limited time.
Yes, it may. And for all of you that are getting refunds, Bob's getting them out there as fast as he can. And he appreciates your patience, and you'll get your money back. And next year, 2021, hopefully they got a handle on what's going on, and we can take a deep sigh, and we're over it. Hopefully they come up with some good stuff there.
Right. We can actually relax and have a little bit of fun.
But Jesse's on there. If you got questions about next year's hunt, we got a kind of a scope on it. Be the same time frame around the second weekend of June, and we'll hopefully everything's cleared up and we can go for it. And all our major sponsors are back on board with us, from Calico to Nokta Makro to Mine Lab. They penciled in for next year, and we're on board with them. Ronnie DeGhetto. Maybe we can even get Frank to come out if he and Steve can survive a drive together.
Yeah, I heard Florida was a little rough for them, so I don't know. It's possible.
But and Frank, if you're still on board, tell Steve that he does not look good as a brunette with long hair. He needs to go blonde or something.
There you go. Yeah, definitely. But that speaks volumes for the class of event that the I&I Club puts on, to know that, we've had to move it a year, but all the major sponsors are still there.
Yep, and a couple of them that were hinging on it wrote in and said they're definitely sent me messages that they will be on board, so it'll actually be bigger. And there's a couple others that want to come, and now that's that length of time they'll be able to plan for it. One of them was being knocked out because of a wedding, but they're going to be there next year, and they already told me Outdoor Outfitters is coming, one of our major suppliers. The whole crew wanted to come, but Terry was going to be knocked out by a wedding. She said, good, I'll be there, and I'll bring everybody. So when Terry and crew shows up, it's going to be a lot of fun. They're a great group. I've been before, and we've always had a great time.
Nice. Well, it sounds like it really is going to be even bigger and better.
Yeah, and I'll keep working on it and see who else I can drag in and have a good time. We should have quite the avenue of tents set up for people to stop in and browse.
Wow. Nice. Looking forward to it.
So here's one thing I was considering for this year, and I'm going to work on it for next year. Bring a display with you. We're gonna have you put up some displays and maybe vote on best display of what you found. And
Yeah,
there may be some nice prizes on that.
There were some nice displays there even in 2017.
Yep. And Tim Garton wasn't going to be able to make it this year from Treasure Chief down in southwest Missouri, out of Springfield area, and he's going to try and be there with his crew from down around that area. So we're picking up more for you to do. So it's going to be a fun day or two there, and I've talked with the hotel, and she's already got us looking at being in the same spot, having the same venue, and just put it all together for next year. So it'll be there.
Good deal, good deal. And hopefully people have remembered, if they have not, canceled their reservations, or they could be billed.
Yeah. Yep, they could be. Call the hotel. Best Western, we had 2 of them lined up. So if you made reservations at either one, get them canceled. They all understand at this point.
Right. Exactly. Very good point. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing who wins that Simplex. It sounds like everything has went very well as far as ticket sales for the raffle, so that's good to hear.
Look at that. And we appreciate that. And all that goes into the ground for the hunt, or goes into help paying for things at the hunt, period. And right. They're setting that aside. And there's been a few that have said, keep the money, keep me on the list. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. Absolutely. Either way, somebody's going to be very happy.
Yeah. Then to get Frank and Steve out there, and he'd find out that the Midwest is welcoming, even if you are from out east.
Oh yeah, Frank's definitely spent some time in the Midwest, and oh, good grief, time flies. I mean, it's Frank and I got to do some digging together there about 5 years ago. So it would be interesting to get to sit down with him again.
That'd be fun. They all have something to bring to us, and they can all give us some great ideas and help. And Frank on his ugly boxes and all that he has done, that's some amazing stuff. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows? Maybe if they can make it, maybe there may even have to be a little presentation about electrolysis.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah.
So, it'd be a lot of fun. There's other ideas out there. We'll make it as best as we can, because Jesse is biting at the bit to get this one under his belt, and we just delayed him a year. So.
No, yeah, he was
did that. So, according to our governor, we're going to be closed right through May 31st, I think it is. So, I'm knowing the way things are going, it wouldn't surprise me to see stuff through part of June.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, I would say that that's a very realistic perception of it. Yeah.
All righty. Well, I'm going to back out. Everybody have a great night. Be safe out there. Wear a mask. Stay distant. Get out when you can.
That's right. At least a detector length apart.
Right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks for the call, Chuck.
All right. Bye-bye.
And as Chuck said, he does have more ugly boxes coming in, some simplexes, the snake skins, I know he's got equinoxes yet. Obviously, they're still going good. The ugly boxes are going good. Really, really interesting stuff going on. Really interesting stuff. Definitely. And, we see Frank saying, can't wait, the Jersey crew loves the Midwest. Well, we like getting together with the Jersey crew too. Definitely. Good group of folks. Very good group of folks. And speaking of the snakeskins, tomorrow night, Detect America, Frank and Steve will actually have Andy O'Neill on to talk about the snakeskins. And if you get over there and get yourself registered, look for the registration post. Steve's going to try to run himself out of more ink pens, I guess. They are taking registrations. They started that earlier this afternoon, where you can get yourself entered to possibly win yourself a snakeskin. I want to say they fit the cruisers, the amphibios, the simplexes, the equinoxes. They're working on getting them out for Garrett. We'll have to see what happens. Once they get them down for that, though, it should be able to cover pretty much, I want to say pretty much all of the manufacturers. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Detect America, they will be discussing the snakeskins, and I can't tell you how many they're planning on giving away. Maybe 1, maybe 3. I don't know. I just know that there's going to be probably a couple of winners. You know how they like to run their giveaways over there on Detect America. And I know some of you do, because I'm seeing some familiar names when I'm in there in the chat, watching Frank and Steve do their show or listening to them. I see some familiar names. So we know we've got some people that are crossing over from one show to the other, which is great to see. Great to see. Looks like Craig's on his way out. Have a wonderful night, Craig and John. So we want to make sure to mention that they will be live tomorrow night. That's Thursday. Because, they do 2 shows a week. Well, sometimes more than 2 shows a week. They, I don't know. Cabin fever is getting us all kind of stirred up, I think. And we're trying to keep things as entertaining and fun for people as we can. The giveaways are fun to do, and it's always fun to see people win, and they're getting a kick out of it over there. And speaking of giveaways, we're not done over here either, because I had said for a while, if we hit 1,000 likes on the Beyond Sight and Sound page, we'd try to do some sort of little giveaway on the page for people. And we have hit 1,000 likes. I figured I'd leave it set for a couple of days to see, because sometimes it fluctuates, and we want to make sure we're over that 1,000 like benchmark before we do it. But if tomorrow is the last day of sales for the Simplex raffle, that Simplex raffle is a pinned post on the Beyond Sight and Sound page. So, let's see, maybe tomorrow or Friday. We'll have to see what's going on, but we will be replacing that pinned post with a post for our 1,000 likes giveaway on the page. Just a way to say thank you. Nice little piece of silver for somebody. Well, I say little, but yeah, it's a very nice 2004 BU, probably American Silver Eagle. So, it's a very good size piece of silver. I'm sure that someone would like a chance to win. So we'll be doing that giveaway over on the page. I'll have to decide. I haven't really decided yet how long we're going. Oh, Pat's in the house. Welcome aboard. Sorry I missed you whenever you came in. But we will be doing that giveaway over on the page. I haven't decided how long we'll leave it run. Maybe a week or so. Who knows? We'll wait and see. And there is a possibility. You know, people have been asking, when are we going to do it? Because we do it twice a year. We do the spring, we do the fall. Sunday will probably, yes, this Sunday will be our field safety and medical awareness show, our spring field safety medical awareness. The current situation that we're in, we're probably going to be focusing primarily on COVID-19 and Lymes, because this is going to be another bad year for Lymes, and we are a huge advocate of Lymes awareness over here on the show. We know that it is a very serious topic, not only on the East Coast, but anymore throughout the country. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be another bad year for ticks. So we'll have some information on COVID-19 and Lymes, and you just never know what's going on around here, so we may even have a surprise giveaway. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see now, won't we? Either way, we will be back Sunday. We would like to encourage everyone, though. Monday night, Frank and Steve did a great job. Frank, Steve, and Ronnie did a great job having Delec on. Great information. It was good to hear. It gave everybody a couple of nights of Simplex, especially with us following up again tonight with the 2.77 update, which looks like it's going to be a great one, too. I said last year, if that machine performed anything like it had the potential to, Nokta Makro had a hit on their hands, and I do believe what we're seeing is the same thing that we saw years back when Garrett released the AT Pro. It is going to be a very, very popular machine, and so far I'm impressed with it. Like I said, it's become my recommended machine for people getting into the hobby. Or even if you're, maybe you've been into the hobby before and you're looking to get back into it. Pick up a Simplex. You don't have a lot of money out of pocket if you decide you don't like it, or you turn it into a closet queen. Hopefully you don't. That's not the point. We want people to stay into the hobby. We want people to have fun in the hobby and make nice finds and do things the right way. Definitely the right way. Let's see here. Oh, no, there will be no Corona drinking by me. Sorry. Just not my particular flavor Kool-Aid there. Not my particular flavor Kool-Aid. Either way, though, tomorrow night, like I said, Frank and Steve, they've got Andy O'Neill on discussing snake skins. It's going to be another good show. Make sure and check them out. Get yourself registered if you're hoping to win a snake skin. Registration cutoff is 6 p.m. tomorrow. So get over to Detect America. The link's in the description. It's in the chat. Find the registration post. Get yourself registered if you would like to try and win a snake skin. If you don't win one, well, if you're still looking for one, it's not like they're that expensive. I mean, I don't remember, less than $10 plus shipping, probably. I'm going to say right around that $10 or less range plus shipping. And you can get those through Chuck. He's got them. I think Striker, he's still got some in stock. Ronnie's got them too, I'm sure. So there's plenty of options out there if you're looking for a snake skin and do not win one tomorrow. But tomorrow would be a great opportunity to go ahead and get yourself a snake skin.
Or just tune in and hear about them. Why is everybody talking about them? What's all the buzz? You have to see. Drop in and check it out. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Detect America. And we will be back Sunday for the Springfield Safety Medical Awareness, COVID-19 Lymes, whatever else we happen to get into. We'll see what our time allows us for Sunday. We're probably going to roll on out of here. Archives always available after the show here. The podcast distribution services, Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube. Once I do my little bit of post work, basically. Drop that noise floor out, things like that. Either way, we hope that everyone had a wonderful evening. It was great seeing everyone, obviously, and for some of you, we'll see you again tomorrow. Just not here. Over on Detect America. So, until the next time, if you enjoyed the show, make sure and throw us a like. You can follow us here on Spreaker, iHeart, iTunes, and many other wonderful podcast distribution services. Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook. Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound group, Detect America. Detecting the Heartland. Metal Detecting Central Illinois. I Treasure Hunters. Dirt Pirates. Ohio Relic Hunters. We're all over the place. It's a wonderful area of social media as long as you can get along with everyone. The dark side does have cookies. You just have to keep an eye out for the not so savory ones. Until the next time, folks, if you can get out there and hunt, stay safe, stay healthy, get out and try to make those finds, post up those photos. You know how we love to see them. We're going to roll. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow over on Detect America.